Hello, I'm Allison Barbosa, and I'm delighted to be here today with Brian Mahony, the Chief Financial Officer at Allison. Welcome, Brian. Perhaps you can just give a few words of intro about yourself.
Wonderful. Thank you. I'm delighted to be here. Yeah, I'm the CFO at Allison, as you said. I've been here for almost 20 years, which is hard to believe. Payments is that kind of industry. Once you get sucked in, it's just really hard to leave.
That is true. So for everybody that's new to my career in six, we typically start with some rapid fire questions. We're just looking for one word answers, and then I'll follow up with a few more detailed questions to get a little bit more information about yourself. Our episodes in March are a little bit different because we're framing the discussion to include the theme for International Women's Day, Break the Bias. So if you're ready, Brian, let's get started.
Let's do it.
Great. Who or what inspires you?
I'm inspired by people that are pursuing being the best in their field.
Do you attribute your success to luck or hard work?
Mostly luck. As a white male born in a Western economy with an education, I had a wonderful start. Then hard work after that, but definitely mostly luck.
Favorite quote or motto you live by?
I used to say that I liked to worry about things I can control and not worry about things that I can't control. But since I've worked in strategic planning, I've learned that you build scenarios and then options for the things you can't control, and then you stop worrying about them.
When applying for a new opportunity, what percentage of required attributes do you feel you need deep expertise to be confident in applying for that role?
I prefer, instead of being inwardly focused on my attributes, to instead focus on what the decision maker knows about me or what they need to know about me, and then work on making sure that they have the right content to make those assessments.
Coolest payments company today?
It's like picking a favorite child, and I can't do it.
Okay. Thank you, Brian. Now that we know a bit about you, we're going to go into some more in-depth questions and focus really on International Women's Day and your career journey. What does it mean to you to be an ally?
In one word, I'd say it's an advocate. And what that means for me is somebody who's willing to invest capital or to use capital on behalf of somebody else.
And in terms of supporting women, and this is all levels of seniority in the industry, what are you doing this year as an active ally to make a difference?
The biggest thing that I'm doing is, and it's at a one-to-one level, is to work on development plans with people in my team and also people from across the organization. And what I find fairly consistently, and it fits the stereotype as well, is that the women I work with generally undersell themselves. And so one of the biggest things that I can do is just to broaden their apertures, to ask better questions about the kinds of things that they can do, and to give a gentle nudge in the direction of seeing that there's more that they should ask for as they think about their development.
Are there any best practices that focus on supporting women in the workplace that you've been part of or witnessed that others could also emulate?
Yeah, one of the things we do here that I really, really like is the concept of a business resource group, and we have it for different cohorts within the enterprise, but it's a self-organized group sponsored by the company, but essentially run by people within the group, and they prepare and execute various events and other types of things over the course of a year. And they do a wonderful job of sponsoring for and advocating themselves, but also of raising the right sort of awareness, such that people in decision-making positions are better equipped, better informed as they think about decisions that affect those groups.
Brian, you've built a fantastic career in the industry, and I think a very big part of it is your strong network. As a male ally, what do you think the differences are between men and women and how they network, and what do you think women should be doing differently?
Yeah, I think generally people network through shared interests, and for men that's always been things like sports. So I think leaders can establish forums through which people can network through shared interests that are broader than sport. I mentioned business resource groups as an example. I think company-sponsored community engagement is another. So leaders sponsoring opportunities for people to engage, to network, and then to take the capital they build and bring that back into the workplace is the way to go.
The theme for this year's IWD, as you know, is Break the Bias. what biases do you see in the industry? And as a male ally, can you share insights on how men can help to break this bias?
Yeah, I'm not certain that I can say that there are some that I see that are unique and specific to the industry, but when you step back, you definitely see them in the world at large. I saw a cartoon recently. It was a woman saying, "Hey, I just had a man mansplaining to me," and it just reminded me of just an inherent habit / bias that exists already. We're inclined to interrupt. We're inclined to mansplain. A difficult habit to break, and just through the use of humor. It's to raise awareness of these habits, and then it's through the use of norms, such as the one I mentioned earlier. The norm of having everybody speak when you're trying to make important decisions as a team. It's rethinking and then resetting those norms to break down some of those old biases that get in the way.
Thank you, Brian. On that inspiring note, I want to thank you again for sharing your career journey with us. Thanks, everybody, for listening. And I encourage everyone to join us online to hear from many other episodes of My Career in Six from inspirational leaders around the world. Thanks again, Brian.
No, thank you. I really, really appreciate you guys asking me to do this. Thank you very much.